The next book? Well, maybe now that I actually read it again, I'll start working on it now.
That'll do it.
I know. I've been waiting for the current political situation to resolve itself because I wanted to be able to put little hints of what's happening for the third book. I want to put foreshadowing in, but I just start writing and hope maybe the way things are going, it might resolve itself before I'm done, so then I can go back and put in foreshadowing. But I have foreshadowing in this book of what happens in the next book, and so I like to do that because then people will go, oh, okay, that's why that happened.
So what's the third book going to be about?
The third book is going to be, it's going to be called The Heretic's Legacy, and it's going to go back to Emma and Thomas, and they're going to be dealing with the antagonist of the first story, Joseph. He left a follower behind, and they have to deal with the follower who's trying to carry on Joseph's, I did plan them all out. I know what each one's about, but it's just I haven't even started writing the third one because I need to have the politics because they work hand in hand.
So, are there more books after the third one?
There's a short story I know that wants to be written. Emma's mother, Una, she has a story, but it's only if it's a short story or a novella. I'm not sure. But yeah, she has a story to tell me that she wants to tell me too. But other than that, there's only the three. Never know who's going to whisper in your ear next.
Exactly. Or you can come up with an entire different series.
Yeah, well, yeah, I have other other stories that I have never done.
How many do you have written?
How many novels have I written?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I wrote a story called Park Tale, and that's a collection of horror stories, and it centers around a park. And that it turned into a novel. And then I've written, let's see, I wrote 2 strictly fan fiction novels. And then I wrote another novel that my friend had me turn into a fan fiction for her. So I have 2 versions of that one. And then I have The Heretic's Child, and then I have The Heretic's Son. 5, 6.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't consider a lot of people don't consider the fan fiction ones real stories, but I visited the Phantom of the Opera universe for a while, but the Crystal Rainbow was the original work of fiction that I turned into a Phantom of the Opera. So there are 2.
Are you planning on publishing that?
I published it online already, and so no. It's just, it's been out there in the world. So I started actually publishing this one. I think I did the first 10 chapters at Fiction Press, but I took it off about 6 years ago, and I figured, okay, well, nobody was really commenting on it, so that's why I was like, because I think they probably could tell I didn't have a direction to go. It was just, I was hoping that if I just kept writing and I would push through into something, and it just didn't work that time, so. But 5 or 6 years ago, I lost my job, and so I was really depressed. So it just was not a good. The Heretic's Child actually started out with Emma, the main character, looking for a place to commit suicide. So yeah, it was just like it was way too depressing. So I'm glad that Emma didn't want to kill herself.
Me too.
Yeah.
There's some controversy with authors in particular about writing fan fiction.
Okay.
As an author yourself who writes fan fiction, I'm wondering how you would feel about somebody taking your work and writing their own stories about it.
As long as they give me credit for it, I don't mind if they take a walk in my universe. That's what readers do. And if they feel, I feel that it's one of like the ultimate compliments, people writing fan fiction. I mean, that you think enough of somebody's work to actually want to take their characters and run with it. And that's great. I think that's a wonderful thing. So, I only wrote because my friends were asking me to, but then it was kind of addictive, and the first one I wrote had every single cliche. I had no idea. I'd never written fan fiction. I had never read any fan fiction, and I started writing the first one, and I found out that I was a Mary Jane. That's, I don't know, I mean, that's where you kind of insert yourself into the story. And I had no idea that that was a thing, so.
Do you find it easier to write your own stories or
Yes.
write fan fiction?
Yeah, because when you write fan fiction, you have to write in their universe. And I mean, I guess that a lot of people think it's easy because it has set rules and you don't have to create your own. But to me, it's just kind of like, it boxes me in. So I always write alternate universes in my fan fictions. You know, so that way I don't have to stay in their universe. I can just kind of go off on my own and create something that's semi-original.
Do you feel like it's helped you though in creating your own rules in your own society? Because if you're writing to, you know, somebody else's rules, then you have practice in writing into rules. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I've never, I mean, like I said, I never really followed their rules. The only part of the rules that I followed was the characters' personalities. You know, that actually makes to me that's like cheating because you don't have to actually create something. You're just taking something that already exists and going and using it, and it's kind of like playing dolls with Barbies, you know. But it's like, okay, so it actually, in my opinion, it makes it easier because you have created characters and everybody already knows what to expect of Christine and Meg and Raoul and, you know, so, and the Phantom. So, but yeah. So that's why I made What Ifs. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.